Hi, this week we've got a slightly different yoga practice. So recently a friend of mine's daughter did a lovely dance with a glass of water on her head, and it made me think about yoga and how one of the benefits of yoga is for balance. So I've been experimenting with trying a number of practices, as you might imagine, mainly standing poses with a glass of water on my head. I say glass, but I would recommend you use something that's not breakable. I've used, as you'll see, a plastic cup with some water in. If you want to be safe, there's always a container, bottles like that, and you can always have a lid on it, which just stops you from getting wet. And doing what's at your level. So it might be just standing with a glass of water on your head and just getting used to that balance, and that might be enough. You might just do one or two poses. You might get into the pose, put the glass on your head, and then take it off before you move into a different pose. But as you see, we've got a sequence here that we just move between poses, balancing the water on the head. And you can always adjust this as you go through if you start finding it's a little bit unstable. As always, just do what's comfortable and right for you. Good luck. So just coming to your mat, get you a glass of water, and then just carefully placing it on top of your head. Just finding that spot where it balances. And then just coming into mountain pose, straightening the body, bringing the strength in the legs, adjusting the glass if you need to, just to make sure it's well balanced. It's really rooting into the feet, bringing the shoulders down, tucking the chin in. And then maybe just testing your balance, so just coming onto your tiptoes, rolling onto your heels, just noticing how that feels. From here, bring your weight into one leg, bending the other knee, taking it out to the side, bring it forward, maybe straightening the leg before bending the knee again and bringing the foot to the floor. And then doing the other side, so bending that knee up, taking the knee out to the side, bringing the knee forward, straightening the leg and bringing the foot back onto the floor. And this time, bending the knee as you did last time, bringing it up, bring the opposite hand to that knee, taking the other arm out, slowly twisting over that leg, and turning the head to look over the arm if that's comfortable. Bring the head back to centre and the feet back to the floor. And then repeating on the other side. Again, bringing the opposite hand to the opposite knee, gently twisting from the waist as you take the arm back, and bringing the head to look over the arm, only if that's comfortable for your neck. Bringing the feet back on the floor, just feeling the balance on the floor, and then coming into a chair. So just bending the knees, sitting back as if you were sitting on a chair, making sure the knees don't go over the toes. And then coming to stand straight, taking one leg behind you, maybe hopping it back. And then turning that foot slightly out, maybe about 10 degrees. Bending the front knee, making sure it doesn't go over the ankle. Bring the arms up, maybe coming in slight back bend into warrior one. Turning the body so it faces the length of the mat. Bending the front knee, looking over that arm, keeping the body in one plane in warrior two. And then turning back to the front, bending the front knee into warrior one before stepping forward. And then doing the same sequence on the other side, taking the other leg back, foot facing forward, knee bent, bring the arms above the head before turning into warrior two. Going back to the front, bringing the arms up into warrior one before stepping forward. And then from here we're going to do a tree. So you can either bring the foot to the ankle, the calf, or bring it up into the thigh. This is more challenging when you're having to keep your head straight. Bring the hands into prayer. And then from here you might want to take your arms out to the side and even maybe sway like a tree. Just keeping your balance, maybe keeping your eyes focused on one spot. Bring the hands into prayer and then bringing that leg down. Just getting your balance again before putting the weight on the other leg. Bring the foot to the ankle, the calf, or bring it up onto the thigh. Just really getting your balance, Bring your hands into prayer. Maybe just again fixing your focus on one place. Bring the hands above the head, maybe swaying like a tree. And the hands back into prayer before bringing that leg down. Coming back into mountain pose, maybe adjusting that glass if it shifted during these postures. And then bending one knee, taking the outside of the ankle and lifting the opposite hand. And then kicking that foot back, pushing it into the hand, coming into a standing half bow posture. And then bring the hand down, gently releasing the foot before going on to the other side. So again, getting the outside of the foot, bending the knee, having the two legs close together before lifting the hand, kicking the foot into the opposite hand as you come into that half bow posture. And then coming to stand. You may find you're having to adjust the glass of water again, but that's okay. And then bring the weight into one leg and just slightly bending the knee of that leg. And then lifting the other leg, bring the toes to the floor, crossing the legs, or if you can, twisting the leg around so the toes are tucked behind the leg. And then maybe crossing the arms across the chest, or coming to eagle arms by bringing the back of the hands together and then twisting the palms together. Maybe even flying like an eagle by releasing the arms and bringing them up and down. And then uncrossing the legs and doing the other side. So toes on the floor, crossing the legs or twisting the legs around, trying to keep the hips straight, crossing the arms or bringing the arms back into eagle arms. And again, maybe flying or even from side to side. And then from here, just taking the legs apart. And then we're just going down into a squat. So again, keeping the head up, bending the knees, squatting down with the hands in prayer. And then we're just going to come to sit, taking the hands behind you and very gently lowering the body, keeping the head straight. And then crossing the legs. And very gently removing the glass from your head and maybe even taking a sip. And you may ask, did I manage to complete that sequence without spilling any water? Well, I did when I practiced, but as always, when I started recording, I did have a couple of accidents. The first time I got all the way through to just coming into the squat, and the second time it was earlier on. And you might notice the clue in how a towel suddenly appeared in the recording halfway through. I will show you my accidents and hopefully you won't get too wet in doing these sequences.